Hi everybody, and welcome to Crimson Court Abridged. This is an abridged version of the session, and I will be posting one of these every single week after each session, probably on Wednesday or Thursday. The abridged sessions, my hope is for them to be anywhere between 40 minutes to an hour long, depending on what happens in the session. This is a way for you to catch up and be able to be there for the live stream without having to catch up on about 4 hours worth of D&D session. So with that, Crimson Court Abridged. Hope you enjoy. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Roll with Ben. Very excited to dive into today's session. We are going to jump to Kaylin. As Kaylin, you are getting ready to leave, but there is one thing that you wanted to do before heading out.
So she wants to go try to find Bjorn one more time before she leaves.
You end up finding Bjorn at that serpent statue.
I wanted to ask you something before we headed out. I'm not sure how long it's going to be that we're in Face Spire. Do you have a moment?
For you, always.
Okay, but you have to promise you're not going to ask too many questions because I don't know if I have all the answers.
Very well.
Do you ever see things?
I see many things.
Like out of the corner of your eye or looking in the shadows?
He thinks for a moment. Thinks very carefully about how to respond.
For those that live their lives in a serpent's grove, it is not uncommon. What is it you see? Okay.
Sometimes it's truthfully just a dark figure, nothing more, and so I think it's just a trick of the light or my mind playing tricks on me, but sometimes it's a face of bone and these huge antlers that almost look like limbs of a tree. And other times it's just nothingness, but it feels like there's something watching.
The form you saw, when did it first come to you?
Bjorn, I've always saw this. It's always been there.
You often spoke of watchers beyond the veil. Some spirits that choose their vessels carefully. Over generations even, picking them out from birth. There's an old saying among the Veilwalkers. Nothing crosses the threshold without invitation.
I don't think it's anything bad. I truly don't. Mother always said it was something good. I don't know. With everything else going on, when there's a doorway open, I worry that other things might come through.
There are many ancient things that live in the space between worlds. Things that were old when the dragons were young, almost a millennia ago. They are neither good nor evil, as we understand such things. The grove holds many secrets beneath its roots. Did your mother ever tell you the parable of the three trees?
No, I don't think so.
Kind of take a stick, and he'll begin to draw in the dirt in front of you.
There is the first. It reaches for the sun, stretching up and up and up and up. The second tree, it spreads across the land, to grow far and wide, to cover the land in shade. But the third tree grows downward, speaking much older truths. Not all spirits that walk the grove belong to the world serpent's brood. Some are much older.
Bjorn, do you know what this is?
We have spoken about my oaths before, very briefly. I told you one was that I cannot tell a lie. And there are many others, many which I am sworn to secrecy of.
So you do know.
Do not know for certain. But it is not my responsibility, nor is it my purpose to tell you even what I think. Things like this, you need to discover what they are. And for that reason,
He gives you a look.
I think...
I don't think that's very fair.
No, it is not, but I can help you discover what it is.
Okay. How?
You shared with me that you attempted to veil walk. correct?
Yes, and you told me not to do it again.
I did, but things have changed now. I must teach you how to become one, how to walk through that veil so you may better know whatever it is that sees you, that protects you. Your mother, she had it easy. She knew more than what she shared with any of us. She saw patterns in the world that even the eldest shamans could not perceive. I believe that when she sent you to your father's home, it was not merely for your protection.
I just wish she was here.
So do I.
There's a heavy sigh from him.
When I get back, can we start?
You have a few days on sea for your journey to the city, right?
Yes, about 2 or so.
There's one thing I'd like to teach you before you leave so you can practice.
Okay.
It is known as the right of perception.
And he kind of turns to face you and he sits cross-legged and gestures for you to do the same.
He does.
The first step on the Veil Walker's path is to see what has always been there, hidden just beyond the edge of sight. The right of perception is not about learning to see something new, but remembering how to see it as you once did before the world taught you to ignore it. Close your eyes, Caleb. Feel the weight of the world. Feel the weight of your body against the earth. Listen to your breath. Now imagine that each breath draws just not air, but the very essence of the world around you. 1. Feel the boundaries of your form begin to soften. The air seems to thicken, becoming almost liquid. 2. Let the grief rise to the surface, not to consume you, but to guide you. Sorrow is a thread that connects us, Sakari, to the world.
And there's this strange pressure that builds. Like being underwater, Kaelin, but still able to breathe.
3. Open your inner eye, daughter of Senua. See what has always been there.
And Kaelin, with Bjorn's guidance, this is incredibly easy to navigate. As you open that inner eye, the world around you changes. And Kaelin, as you look around, there are these delicate, like filaments of light that connect the trees to each other and to the earth. Similar threads extend beyond Bjorn, from Samson, and even from yourself, stretching off into the distance or connecting it to nearby life. You see what are these spirits of animals moving past, and you can see how those threads like lightly connect to yours and Bjorn and Samson as they move away and disconnect. Proximity connects us.
This is but a glimpse. And please,
Can she look up towards like the trees and stuff?
Yeah.
Kind
you
of
can.
like where she remembers seeing the thing the last time.
And in the distance, there is a dark shape that moves between the trees. Antlered, massive. Stays far away. Watching. As Bjorn traces your gaze, he nods. He can see it.
your guardian observes. It cannot approach this close to the threshold without invitation. The rules that bind such entities are ancient and unbreakable. Before you even consider doing that, make sure you're confident in your ability to be in this shallow crossing. True veiled walking goes deeper still, but this is where you must start. Grow comfortable here before you even think to commune, to speak, to ask, to talk. For when you reach out, it is not a guarantee that those you seek will answer, especially with what happened with your uncle. I fear there may be those that try to cross this path, using you as its medium.
I understand. I think that's what Nan was afraid of. Kind of looks up the direction. Do you think it's lonely?
You see Bjorn looks at it for a very long time.
I think when you are that whole, that ancient, it is hard not to.
But why me?
I do not know. And that, I cannot lie. The way of thinking of those spirits is so different from you and I? That is a question you must ask it, and hope that it answers truthfully. And we will train more when you return. Regardless of what happens in the Sentinel Festival, I will still help you in this. You have my promise.
Well, you better train. You better win. I think it would be so good for all of us if you do. But I can't help in any way. You know this.
I would not want you to.
And you return. Quick. In a flash. No longer in your... So, with that, you and Bjorn depart then, as you head off. So, with that, we're going to go ahead and cut back to Edwin, bright and early, even before the sun has risen.
Going to go down, and he's going to make breakfast.
Mhm.
And then he's not going to eat this breakfast. Instead, he's making eggs, sausage, bacon, croissant. I don't know what we have. He's going to take his boundless coffee, pour it into a cup, put it on a tray, and he's walking down to the dungeon.
Okay.
He's going to walk to the prisoner's cage. Is he asleep?
You're getting there pretty early. I'd say he probably is. It's like on like a hay like mat that's on the ground.
Yeah, so he's going to set the food down and slowly push it in, not to make sound. Once it's in the jail, he's going to look over at probably a wooden chair nearby, grab it, and he's not being silent at all with this. He's dragging it straight across the ground as loud as he possibly can. And as he's doing it, trying to wake him up and saying, "Good morning," and sitting the chair in front of the jail and sitting down and waiting. Oh, sorry.
No, you're all right.
Good morning. Sorry that I woke you, but I don't have a lot of time before we leave. I brought you breakfast.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Kester, was it?
He nods.
Kester, I have some questions for you this morning, and then you won't hear from me or my siblings again. Well, at least not for a couple of days. If you would indulge me, feel free to eat while we talk. I know you're probably famished, and, well, I don't want to treat our guests rudely.
Thank you.
And he'll kind of grab the tray and he'll begin to sheepishly eat the food.
Right. So, tell me, Kester, who are you working for? And indulge me, I know you've answered this question probably many times. I would just ask for your utmost honesty.
I had said, of course, I'm happy to answer again. Lord Damien Thrent.
And how long ago
Starts
did you
drinking
take
the
this
coffee.
job?
This one, in particular, it was probably 2 months ago, I think. I was sent here.
Months. Wow. No. Edwin just kind of squints at him. And you fully knew what you were doing, right? You fully knew the job at hand. You weren't told after the fact. You weren't that you were shooting down messengers to the Nornathi specifically for the last 2 months.
Just north. I didn't know they were to the Nornathi. Just north.
But you knew
did-
they were important.
I didn't know. I just was told to shoot down any messenger falcons that were heading north, transcribe the letters, send them to Damien, and then resend them from where I was.
All right. And how many exactly did you send back? Shoot down
3.
3. Okay. What made you take this job? Exactly. Lack of coin, no self-respect. Which one?
All of you are the same.
Look, Kester, I'm going to cut straight to it. Please answer my questions. I do not have the time. Why did you take the job? Knowing full well what you were going to do.
Because I didn't have another choice. Because of your sister. I didn't have another choice.
Wait, which one? No, I have 3. It couldn't have been Via. Maybe Kaylin or Xanthi?
I want you to know that whatever someone did to hurt you or threaten you, I'm sorry. I have no ill will towards those you're trying to protect. I want you to know, and you can see he knocks the food over and he starts crawling towards the cell. I hate you. I hate Princess Xanthi. I hate all of you. Because you don't care. You care about yourself and those who are close to you. But anyone else, you'll let the world burn if it means protecting them. What of my family? Doesn't matter, does it?
Esther, let me ask you a question. Your family, would you burn the world to see them safe? If it meant destroying everything to keep them safe, would you?
You're delusional. Delusional. That's what it is, isn't it? Self-importance. All of you believe you are something more, that those you love are worth more than others. Is that what it is? That your loved ones have more worth than mine because you're noble born? Or is it something else? Is it something deep down within you, the seed of vileness? If I could save thousands, if I could make sure that the world wouldn't burn, no, I wouldn't put thousands or hundreds before my loved ones. Because I'm not a monster!
See, that is where we differ. I am for the people, and I have been for the people, and I know what they go through. But my family comes first. And you may laugh, but you, specifically, could have put them in great danger because of what you decided to do. Now I'm going to ask you again. He takes out the vial and just starts messing with it. Are you sure that Damien is who you were working for?
Yes. Edwin, above all else right now, you see the truth, but he hates you. Truthfully. Deep hatred.
Well, don't have to use this. Puts it back. Good. Thank you for telling me the truth. Thought I had more questions for you, but you've annoyed me. So, have a good day. Enjoy your... Looks at the food all over the ground. Food. I guess we'll see you in a week. Stop
I
walking.
thought that you would have more shared respect for someone low-born like myself. I thought there'd be camaraderie from one bastard to another. But I guess not. No, you're a Falkrest. You're an adventurer, aren't you? Spirit of freedom. Protector of the weak. Well, here I am. Someone abused by that system that your ancestors would have overthrown long ago. And what do? You berate me with words. You treat me like an animal.
Edwin turns around and walks back to the cell.
What?
You are treated the way you act.
Yes. Well then. And you see he like lunges towards the cell, trying to reach and grab at you. Scratching in the air, and he says, "Fine then! Treat me like an animal! Put me out of my misery then! Kill me! Kill me, because I swear on all the gods old and new, on all of the churches that are sworn to protect Adaria, when I get out of this cage, I will promise I will make your sister pay for what she did to me, and I will make you pay for what you've subjected me to. Nothing more than a piece of evidence for you. I'm not a person anymore. I am nothing. But at least if I kill an arrogant prince, then I'll be something. Isn't that right? Edwin, Prince of the Pauper.
Do you feel better?
Kill me, and I will.
Depends on how these next few days go.
He
And starts
spits at you,
walking,
Edwin.
Goodbye. Walks away.
You crest along through the Dragon Strait, headed towards Faithspire. The land stretches out before you, clear and blue. It is a beautiful day today on October the 3rd, 11:03. So as the ship begins to sail that early morning. So does anybody have anything else they'd like to do before your arrival in Faithspire later today?
Merrick's just remaining up top, making sure that everyone is secure.
Okay, well, as Kayla goes back to her room.
Okay, so Kaylin goes to her room. Sounds good.
Yeah. And she's going to kind of put Samson in her lap. And she's going to light a few candles and going to say, okay, we're going to do a little bit of practice. She's going to close her eyes. And she's going to try to recall just the words and placing herself back in the moment with Bjorn and the things that he told her to focus on. And listening to the waves of the ocean, just the gentle rocking of the boat, the call of the birds around her, and kind of honing in on where she is, and then trying to transcend out.
Kaylin, you think of the things that Bjorn had said as you were sitting with him back at that serpent statue, trying to encourage you to fall into that place. 1, feeling the boundaries of your form begin to soften. 2, letting your grief rise to the surface, not to consume you, but to guide you. That sorrow is a thread that connects the worlds. And 3, to open your inner eye, daughter of Senua, and see what has always been here. As you do, the world around you fades, the noises of the creaking ship and the seagulls begins to fade until it's just this changed, modified, the threads and strands of light that remind you of tiny roots, almost sprouting, growing together, twisting together. You can see into the rooms of the ship around you, these knots of essence. You can see one in Via's room that shines bright. In fact, the brightness continues to glow and glow and glow and glow, and the threads fracture out in different, not in different directions, but all entirely up and up and up, looking ahead. You look, and you can see Xanthes. All those knots and roots twisted together, deeply tied together. This infinitely tiny, like singularity of threads, all closely knotted together, closely bound, incredibly dense and taut. You can see Merrick's stretching outward, stretched so incredibly thin, up, down, left, right, trying to stretch in every single direction, those roots. And you can see they strain, you can see how frayed they are at the edges. And then you look to where Edwin's room would be, and you see thin threads. And at the core, at that center, is some seed thing. Something,
When I
Kaylin,
look down. Oh, go ahead.
something that you almost feel like you've seen before.
Oh.
But as soon as you make eye contact with it, it kind of fades, it dissolves. And then there's this bright light at that core instead. And Kaylin, as you look down, you see roots that go deep down, past the hull of the ship, into the ocean, down to its core, and further beyond that, past the material realm, past this state of limbo, this threshold that you currently sit in. And as you look down, you can see just 2 eyes looking up at you from that ocean floor. You can see those antlers, massive, looking up at you from deep
deep down. Not in the sea further beyond that. At the very fathoms of what? You're not quite sure.
Oh, I think the moment she looks down, I think she kind of startles her, so she kind of jumps and she grabs Samson and just kind of moves to the corner of her room. What? She looks at Samson. What is it?
Huh?
Did you just say words out loud? Is that thing
Samson,
still
like,
there, Joe?
Samson trying to avoid eye contact with you.
Is it still down there, Joe? Sorry.
Yeah, you see the eye still looking up at you. Very far away.
Kind of hard to see it entirely.
Yeah.
Hello?
It doesn't respond,
you-
Caitlin.
Are you afraid? Are you alone?
It doesn't speak, just looks to you. You remember what Bjorn said, spirits like these, they don't commune, they don't come unless they are invited. However, he did warn you that if you invite it, something else might come. When you open that gate, it's not just the spirit that you ask to come that comes sometimes.
I've seen you watching all the time. Ever since I can remember. I know it's you. I know you've always been there. I just don't know why. But I can be your friend, but I don't know if I can trust you yet. Not entirely. Kind of touches her wrist where her hand should be. Not yet, at least. She's gonna pull Samson next to her and close her eyes to make it go away.
Kaylin, it's very strange. You try to leave in that moment, but something stops you. As you open them, that creature still looks up at you. But its eyes aren't angry. Its eyes aren't looking at you, you realize. It's looking behind you.
Turns around.
Kaylin, as you turn around, you see this black undulating mass. The same one you had seen with Rainier. Your heart sinks. It found you. You didn't even reach out, but it found you. What do you do?
As she's going to, clutching Samson to her chest, scramble to the other side of the room and close her eyes and try to break out of it.
You move to the other side of the room and you close your eye. It speaks to you, Kaylin.
You didn't learn the first time how dangerous it is. You come back, and this time with no guide. You are trapped here now. You will be my plaything, Kaylin Folkrest.
You will not come near me. And I am not trapped here. I can leave.
You have no power here. Daughter of old blood of Adaria, old blood of the Serpent's Grove. You are powerless here.
And Kaylin, you feel something within you. That same voice, that same urging that you had heard before. Not the voice, but the essence of that thing. With one simple plea. Let me in. Coming from deep, deep, deep down those roots.
Oh. Yeah, she's gonna take a step backwards. I feel like her back is up against the wall in her room at this point. That's not true. I have so much more power here than you think I do. I don't know what you are, but you don't know me. You don't know my people. You don't know anything.
I know so much more than you do. You don't even know the truth of your lineage. What makes you special, princess?
Don't call me that.
Kaylin, do you let that dweller at the roots in?
Yes.
Okay. So as you do that, Kaylin, as you say, don't call me that, and you welcome that presence, you don't see it move. You don't, even to a degree, you don't feel it. All you feel is safety. That same safety you felt during your first choosing ceremony, that same safety you felt on that fateful night when you left the Serpent's Grove, even with all the uncertainty that was there. This state of limbo you find yourself in is split in two, as if roots being shattered. This scream emanates from you
And as you do, the rest of that ethereal world fractures into tiny pieces of glass and falls away. And Kaylin, as you open your eyes, the sound of the ship returns. And as you look in your room, it is covered in roots, stretching out all over from floor to ceiling, covering your bed and your desk that emanated from where you were. And like embedded themselves into the wood of the ship.
She's looking around. She's gonna. I feel like at this point she was like nearly squeezing the life out of Samson. She's gonna just like slowly like put him back on the ground. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. We're home. We're safe. We are safe. Yeah. This is fine.
What?
He touches one of the trees. Is it, like,
Very
there?
brittle. It's very brittle. As you kind of touch it, it just
Oh.
kind of shatters, almost like glass. But it's wood. As you look at it, it seems like, I mean, it legitimately is wood. It seems dead though, as it's here. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever felt more alone and not alone at the same time. Isn't that funny?
Samson kind of crawls up on your shoulder and like a scarf kind of wraps around your neck.
I just want to go home. Thanks. So,
Kind of like leaning, like pushing into your hand.
if you're there, please don't leave me again. I'll just sit there for a while.
All right. With that, eventually you get closer and closer and closer to Faith Spire. Until eventually the sun is fully set, the moon is beginning to rise, and Faith Spire is only a few hours away at this point. You see Octavia running up the stairs, and you see her kind of stop, looking around. Via, you have no idea where the voice came from. Obviously, your father, Talon, isn't here. But you hear this, like, just ringing out. Cersei! Cersei, what's happening? It's so far away from you, but you hear it.
Mom? She's gonna keep trying to run to the voice.
Via?
I don't care what that other people are calling me.
Merrick
Does she
takes
seem
off
like
after
she's
being
going
taken off.
somewhere?
Is she going towards the fucking side?
Yeah,
well,
which area of the boat am I running
The
towards,
thing is, you
actually?
hear it just far away. It's not coming from a place. It's coming from
Okay.
far away. I would say, Kaylin, you can also hear like Via like storming up the steps and yelling and, you know, running around and people trying to stop her. Does that cause Kaylin to come out of her room or?
Yeah, it does. I mean, she's at that point, she was fully sobbing. A little bitch girl sobbing in her room. So she comes upstairs. She's like wiping the tears off of her face, more concerned about what's going on up here.
Via's gonna like run to the edge of the boat, like looking out into the
Oh
ocean.
no, she's going to the edge. Like, Xanthi's gonna be after her and just grab her just so she doesn't go overboard. Because what the fuck, we don't need this again.
So as you are getting
Dad!
closer and closer, you can see Faith Spire clearly now. It's maybe an hour away, maybe even a little bit closer. You've seemed to pick up some pretty significant speed, and Merrick, you can feel that thrumming getting louder and louder and louder the closer you get to Faith Spire. As you see the city now, not nearly this close, but you can see the jagged pieces of jade jutting out where that spire had detonated many, many years ago. Nighttime, this is what you see. And there is a moment, Via, where you feel this, like you're crossing a threshold. You enter a space. As the ship glides through the waters towards Faith Spire, you feel these pinpricks across your skin. It is heavy. The sensation before lightning strikes. The air around you grows heavy, charged with potential. You recognize this feeling. You've had this before, the pulling of the font. The same pulling you felt back at Arkenvale on that fateful night when that ritual happened. But you can feel it tugging, pulling, tearing at you, begging for you to sink your teeth into it and draw from the font. Those magical energies that flow beneath the world's surface are concentrated on this very spot, reaching up through the waves to grab hold of you. And you would need to resist it, because otherwise it will claim you. Does Via resist, or does she just let it happen?
So is she conscious that the voices are part of this as well right now? Or are the voices like, is she being pulled to this essence because of the voices?
It seems connected. You're not sure which way, though. The echoes are getting louder the closer you get to Faithspire.
Have we, I don't want to say tackled. But
Gently
is she
tackled.
secure from falling off the ship at this point?
Yeah, she's like in the middle as you see her kind of like freezing up for a moment as her eyes are beginning to like glow that brighter white. Via, what do you do?
I think initially she might try and resist it because she's conscious that it's gonna be something scary or harmful like the last time.
Okay.
Because you said it was really reminiscent to what happened to Arkenvale, right?
Yes. Tenfold.
Okay, yeah, she's gonna try to resist it because she's scared.
Via, you do try. There's no skill check, though. It's like trying to hold back a dam with a band-aid. I mean, you really are trying to hold back this monumental, insurmountable force with the small amount of arcane skill that you have. And you can't stop it. The sensation intensifies, spreading from your fingertips up to your arms across your chest until your entire body tingles with this arcane awareness. Your grip tightens, your knuckles white as the world around you begins to shift and blur. The ship lurches and stops. The wind coalesces around Octavia, and she begins to lift, levitating. The sails flutter back and forth, some of them almost being ripped from the mast that they're held onto. The ship, the crew, all of your siblings via the sea itself, it all falls away as your consciousness expands beyond the confines of your body. You feel yourself floating upward, watching your own form grow smaller and smaller below you. Then you're diving, your vision plunging past the ship, through the water, down to the depths. The descent is impossibly fast as you perceive everything with perfect clarity. As your vision comes back up from the other end of the ship, looking down, you see a different ship in the same spot. It's not the present, but 20 years ago. Standing exactly where you stood moments ago, there is this beautiful Air Genasi woman, your mother, Cersei Alisades, though much younger. Her cloud-like vitiligo skin seems to glow in the sunlight, her silver blue eyes wide with a mixture of awe and terror. And beside her, you see your father standing there. Cersei! Cersei, what's happening? Following her gaze as she's floating, the wind coalescing around her. It seems as though she's experiencing some type of vision or premonition in the exact same spot, seeing something that fills her with dread. Her lips move, but you have no idea what she's saying. Your perspective plunges again once more and rises once more. You see a woman with dark tan skin wearing a shawl of black and brown that has long been worn bare to its threads. Her eyes glow white that illuminate the coast, which is already under fire. This magnificent tower of jade and ryanite shatters as it explodes outward, sending thousands of pieces flying. This woman is suspended in the air, a shimmering portal revealing a realm devoid of color and life. The threads from her eyes reaching up in white, but touching the portal, they turn black. The portal closes, the final magic detonates from the tower, sending the woman flying into the Dragon Strait. Then your vision drops once more, but this time it shifts away from the past, and you begin to see glimpses of the future. Octavia, you see the throne room, the worm seat, bathed in shadow and darkness, writhing and coiling around the pillars like living things. You see a skyline split apart, the fractured sun breaking further, bleeding golden light into a sky that rains fire upon Adarian cities. You see 5 crowns cast upon the ground, gleaming circlets of gold and silver tumbling through the darkness, each landing in pools of crimson that spread like hungry mouths. You see your hands aflame with light, a silhouette standing against catastrophe, hands burning with golden fire that neither consumes nor destroys, but holds back this tide of chaos. You see dragon's breath consume it all. Emerald flames roaring across the land, devouring villages and forests alike. You see blood rise from the earth, crimson floods swallowing the land in vicious red that pulses like a heartbeat. You see winter without end, ice creeping across fertile fields, encasing everything in a pristine tomb of frost that sparkles with this deadly beauty. You see serpents coil around the innocent, massive scaled bodies winding through city streets, squeezing life from stone and flesh alike. You see a march of divine steel, armies in gleaming armor advancing with mechanical precision, their faces hidden behind helmets that reflect only emptiness. You see a child of storm and light, yourself transformed, power radiating from your form as you stand between these horrors and what remains of Adaria. You see the faithful dream your name, countless faces turning skyward in their sleep, lips moving in silent prayer, tears streaming from closed eyes as they whisper it. You see the shield against ruin, your own hands rising before you, trailing lightning and dawnlight as they push back this encroaching darkness. You see your throne, not given but chosen, the royal seat of Adaria transforming into living light, waiting for an occupant who must claim it by choice, not by birth. You see truths that cannot be unseen. All of the rest of you watch in horror as her body goes rigid and then begins to convulse. Blood begins trickling from her nose and ears and eyes as she falls to the deck. The wind stops whipping, and Octavia, you drop to 0 hit points. You suffer 4 points of exhaustion.
Ouch.
And all of you can see Octavia's chest begin to rise and fall slower and more irregular, as if that life is draining from her body from whatever happened.
Yeah, Edwin just.
Cure wounds.
Yeah.
Both of you immediately move over. You cast Cure Wounds. You can see the rises and falls of the chest are more regular, but she doesn't awaken, seemingly in some comatose state, as the crew looks back and forth between one another, as all of you sit there.
Yeah, kill him. Too.
All of you sit there, you hear a voice emanate from Octavia's mouth that is not her own. All-knowing, beneath the ashen skies, a child of light and storm, the shield against ruin. And as the wind finally begins to pick up the sails that had not been ripped from the mast, your approach to Faith Spire is even slower, as you can see that last little bit of energy fade from Octavia. Still alive, but barely. And on that note, that is where we're going to go ahead and end tonight's session.
Mia!
Oh.
Woo-woo.
Wanted
I
to be
hate to burst
known.
y'all's bubble, but I guess I'm supposed to be the queen.
I'm going to send...
Or you're dead. Stay dead.
I'm going to send Felicity
I'm so glad because things are
Yeah,
getting too calm
please.
here.
the
Pretty please send
prophecy.
that.
Yeah, the prophecy that
Oh
you
my
saw.
gosh. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh.
Mhm. Mhm.
So good.
So thank you so much for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed. Be sure to tune in next week for that. And we will see you in the next one.